Forager Mitsuba is a permanent 5-star Windblade unit, who is another Windblade unit that inflicts mainly bleed. She is now an outdoor chef, foraging for foods to cook, and also possessed a newfound amazement in cooking fiend meat. Seriously, what the fuck? In terms of performance, she can inflict bleed and poison, in a way similar to a Dis, a 4-star Windblade unit. In short, she possesses a unique arsenal and playstyle, which we'll check out right now. Fiend EKG May deals 1240% damage and inflicts bleed. With a cost of around 2800 SP, the skill is average in damage output to cost ratio. This is basically a weaker version of Victor's first skill, whose skill has 3 phases that increases water resistance and provides a shield. Overall, this skill is not spectacular, though this skill isn't the highlight of her kit. Fiend Banquet costs 10,000 SP and creates a buff zone that is based on how many new dishes she currently has. One new dish can be obtained for every 15 combos and is only consumed upon using this skill. One dish buffs skill damage by 10%. 2 dishes grants an additional 10% crit rate buff, and 3 dishes add on a 5% strength buff. The high cost of this skill worries me, but from what I've seen, the buff zone follows Mitsuba and is the same size as Dragalia's buff zone. Because of this, if you're playing co-op, make sure that most players stick around Mitsuba when her buff zone is up. This form makes team coordination vital when she is present. Overall, this skill is unique, but it is way too expensive and is harder to use effectively. Her co-abilities are nothing special, consisting of a standard 10% strength buff and a water resistance buff. For her abilities, her bleeding equals user strength grants a 10% strength buff for every successful bleed, which is a decent ability to have on any bleed inducing unit. Her freeze resist is typical of some win units and makes fighting high mercury slightly difficult and annoying. Her unique ability, Chef's Savvy, grants her the Plucked Man Radish effect when using her skill 2. This effect increases skill haste by 15% and is consumed upon using her Force Strike, which can inflict poison through this effect. This makes her a unit that can inflict both bleed and poison and can have both afflictions on the enemy at the same time. It's a decent ability that could use some skill haste to bring out more effectiveness. You can also leave the effect active to buff her skill haste for a prolonged period. Mitsuba supports the team through her dual afflictions and her buff zone. Both of these aspects require skill haste to enhance their effectiveness, making the ability absolutely necessary. Other abilities include Buff Time, Poisoned Punisher, Combo Time, any strength buffing abilities, and maybe Bleeding Punisher. For her dragon, Ariel is the best pick, since she buffs strength and skill haste. Freya and Zephyr are decent alternatives. I wouldn't recommend Vayu, as her skill damage is relatively low. For her weapons, Arendite is the best pick, with Combo Time and Healing as its abilities, helping Mitsuba to get more combos and survive respectively. Of course, Endless Horizon and K-Maritek Benzoin are decent alternatives. For her Wimprints, these will suit her well. Forager Mitsuba is certainly unique within her class and among many units. She can be suitable for players who want to play supporters differently, with Mitsuba having a more offensive approach, though in a lesser extent than someone such as Summer Sinoa. Personally, I wouldn't use her, only because Sailor served my main win team very well, with better stats and greater damage. Overall, she is a good support unit, with some unique mechanics that make her very interesting. Now go out there and come up with more fiend based recipes as she slaughters fiends for their apparently juicy and nutritious flesh. I guess that's a way to deal with dead fiends. That's all from me. Moga out.